Here's exactly how I would invest my very first $1,000 in my 20s if I could start it all over again. Based on the stats, over 60% of Americans don't actually have $1,000 saved in their bank account. But for younger people who are starting out without a lot of family commitment, here's exactly how I would start it. $1,000 is actually not enough for you to allocate into any sort of investment assets. You're not going to be investing that money into crypto, into stock, into any sort of dividends. And you're certainly not going to use that $1,000 to pay for any tuition to get a certificate or getting back to school for degrees. That's just not a smart way to do it. So if I could give the advice to my younger self or anybody who's just starting out with only less than $1,000 in their bank account, here are the 5 steps that will guarantee you to reach that income potential in less than 1 to 2 years. Step number 1, you gotta pick an industry. This industry has to have a growing potential. And what I really mean by that is that AI industry right now is growing. You can see the industry, the ecosystem is growing year after year. Now, vice versa, if you're in a dying industry or an industry that's not really picking up, for example, nano engineering, because that's actually why I was studying it. If you're in that industry, the market is shrinking and shrinking. There's not a lot of upsides to the market. And this is where you are going to feel like you're fighting against the wave all the time. So picking the right industry is always important. For me, it was very clear that I wanted to start with real estate because based on the stats, 88% of the millionaires were made through owning business and real estate altogether. So in order for me to basically guarantee my success is that I just wanted to do a business, some sort of business in real estate industry. And if I could stick long enough, I knew that I would have 88% of a chance of succeeding in the future. So that's why I picked real estate. And you gotta figure out exactly which market is actually suitable for you. And this is why picking the industry is really important. And right now there's so many different tools like ChatGPT, Google, YouTube. You can literally search it up and see what the trend is on the history of certain industry. Pick one that's growing and stick to it for long enough and try not to switch direction because every industry will require you 2 to 3 years to basically build that skill set. Step number 2, you gotta learn how to sell. It's very simple. The best defense is actually the offense. If you're boxing someone, the best way isn't to keep dodging and try to play safe. The best way is to actually keep attacking.
Let me see a combo though.
Okay.
Us.
And the principle basically applies to the business world. You have to learn how to draw the income. You have to start learning how to sell yourself, sell your product, your service to your potential customer, or maybe sell other people's service because this is the quickest way for you to be able to see that income. This is not a time for you to sit back and think about what type of license, certificate, whether or not you should get back to school for another degree. Those are all defensive play. And a lot of times I see people justifying why they're doing certain things, but in reality, they're not solving the root cause. The root cause is that you need to be able to sell something, earn a bit of commission because this is the quickest way for you to start making money in less than 30 days. And here are a couple different examples that you can literally start selling things in real estate industry. Wholesaling is one of them, right? You're connecting with a motivated seller, with another investor. You get the property under contract, flip it over to another investor for 10, 15, 20K. This is what I did when I was back in school. You could easily do that. Obviously, there's work involved, but all I'm trying to say is that if you learn how to sell and connect with the right people, and if you don't feel like your wholesaling is something that you want to start it with, then sell a bit of service. There's tons of landlords out there. You definitely know someone who's the owner. You can easily walk on the street, identify which one is the rental properties and which one is not, and offer them a bit of service. You can be offering cleaning services. You can be offering tenant placement, the leasing service to place the tenants for those landlords. You could also be offering snow removal, lawn cares, and all that stuff. All these ideas are something that you can literally implement immediately. And for those who still feel like this isn't what you want to do, then you can do a B2B approach. And if you feel like your skill set is more on the marketing side, then go talk to a mortgage broker, insurance agents, and maybe realtors. All these people, they all need one thing. They want more clients. So find a way to provide value for these people because here's the thing, the moment that you can actually start making those connections, you can actually get a referral fee. And this can all be done within 30 days with the right strategy. All you need to figure out is that you need to put yourself out there and start developing that skill and be very, very patient that you need this skill set in order for you to start increasing your income. How I first started, by the way, is through property management. And one of the main reasons why I picked property management was because I own a few student rentals. So I knew exactly what landlords are looking for. So when I started reaching out to my neighbors, out-of-town investors, it's very simple. I knew that they needed cleaning, the daily maintenance stuff. So I could easily incorporate my operation for my own properties. And on top of that, I also recognized that there was a huge demand for tenant placement, like placing the tenants. So that's how I started. And what I basically did is I just started doing a lot of things and reach out to so many different people. And this is how I started getting more and more contracts. I was basically getting compensated while learning this entire industry. And in reality, running a business, we're all going to fuck up sometimes, right? It's okay. It's totally normal to fail, but you want to keep failing forward. What I learned from this whole experience is I learned how to sell, I learned how to talk to people, and I learned what my clients like and don't like about certain operation that I was handling. So that allowed me to keep improving my operation. And once I get all of that done, I also learned how to do the marketing to draw more clients in. And this just got me into such a positive cycle where I was making money in the industry, and I was also building a lot of foundation. This literally set out a nice foundation for me to continue to scale up my portfolio. And while you're building the business, you're going to fuck up multiple times. That's why step 3, finding a mentor is extremely important. A lot of times we don't even know what to ask. Our awareness is not there yet. We can only think of a business idea or even ask certain questions based on the knowledge that we currently have. So going to various local events and try to connect with other people is a very easy way for you to kind of see what's out there. And the moment you started coming across with public speaker coaches out there who are actually doing what you want to do in the next 5 to 10 years, this is a time for you to really listen carefully and try to absorb as much as possible. These people, their time is super valuable, but at the same time, with the right people, they're all very willing to share their secrets and help people who are trying to get into this space. And that's exactly what I did. I hired my first mentor. It was very, very expensive, but I basically figured out a payment plan and then dive right into this. First month blew my mind. It really helped me understand various different ways of investing and how to handle business and client relationship. And this really helped me set out a lot of good foundation so I can avoid having to figure things out on my own. Because guess what? Smart people usually learn from other people's mistakes. And I always have the mentality that if I don't pay for something, I'm still gonna have to pay the tuition through the experience, which might end up costing me time and money. But if I could pay someone who knows exactly what I need to do, I literally can shortcut the entire thing, stop being profitable, and use that shortcut to continue to scale. And this will literally yield much higher ROI for myself. And after investing tens of thousands of dollars and build a couple 7-figure business, and that's why I'm super passionate about building a community and teaching people exactly what I learned, because it's such a shortcut. And that's how I was able to help Adrian quit his full-time nursing job in just 4 months using real estate. I'm going to share a little bit about the strategies that we use at the end of this video. So now that you have completed the first 3 steps, picking the right industry, learn how to sell, and find a mentor that really help you accelerate, you're going to start seeing the money coming in. So step number 4 is going to be building your financial discipline. You're going to start seeing the income flowing in, and you gotta be really, really careful with how you spend, how you invest your money. When I first started seeing money coming in, I also made all sorts of mistakes. It is very tempting for you to start inflating your lifestyle when you started seeing 10, 15K, 20K coming in every single month. And this is the part where you gotta really figure out a system to always be tracking your numbers. I end up automating the entire thing because there was one year that I started pulling in a lot of money and I end up not having any saving at the end of the year. And this really made me reflect on how I need to manage my finance, because the moment that you're not really paying attention to your saving, your daily costs, and the business started getting effective due to high interest rate, economy, government policy, and all that stuff, right? You're going to literally start going into the red almost right away. And this is literally exactly what happened to me. So find a way to automate your saving. Every time you hit the account, you always need to be transferring into different account, and use that funds to invest in something low risk is really, really critical. Start building that investing habit so that you can start enjoying the compound interest. And once you have the financial control, now you can really focus on the business growth. And this is how we're going to get into the step number 5. Leverage relationship to invest. You've gone through, you now have a business that's drawing income. You now have a really strong foundation with your business growth, financial control, client relationship, and all that stuff. Start presenting an opportunity, deals to your investors, to your friends, family, colleagues, because at this point you have demonstrated that you can actually manage the finance and business opportunities very, very well. And that's exactly what I did. I started raising capital for all of my real estate projects. The saving that I have that I want to invest in real estate now becomes my business capital. I get to package ourselves a little bit and really start drawing investors into our company. And that's why we're able to start acquiring multifamily buildings, commercial buildings, and doing a lot of flips using other people's money. And this is a scaling phase that's very exciting because you started viewing business from a very different perspective. You're fully ready, time to scale up. And this is the exact same system that I helped Ralph, who's a mortgage broker, to start leveraging their clientele to start investing in multifamily building with him. Within 9 months, he was able to raise enough capital to close 8-unit building and 6-unit building for him and his clients. And Ralph is another good example. He literally raised 180K for his very first flip and basically started his real estate journey this way. Now, this is the 5 steps in the right sequence that I would advise to younger selves or even anybody who's in their 20s right now with less than $1,000. Now, if you want to kind of give it a try and figure out how to source the deals for another investors, give this video a watch.